Question 1. What year marked the full establishment of the parliamentary system in the UK after the Glorious Revolution? A. 1688. B. 1701. C. 1689. D. 1690. Answer: C. 1689. The parliamentary system in the UK was fully established in 1689 after the Glorious Revolution, which culminated in the Bill of Rights that limited the powers of the monarchy and enhanced those of Parliament. Question 2. Detail the significance of the 1832 Reform Act in British electoral history. A. It abolished property qualifications for voting. B. It extended voting rights to women for the first time. C. It significantly widened the franchise, allowing more men to vote. D. It introduced automatic voter registration. Answer: C. It significantly widened the franchise, allowing more men to vote. The 1832 Reform Act was significant because it addressed widespread civil discontent and reformed the electoral system by increasing the electorate, thus reducing the power of the landed aristocracy. Question 3. Explain the role of the UK in the establishment of the United Nations. A. The UK was one of the original founding members. B. The UK opposed the creation of the United Nations. C. The UK joined only under pressure from the USA. D. The UK had a minor role and joined later. Answer: A. The UK was one of the original founding members. The UK played a significant role in the establishment of the United Nations in 1945, being one of the original members to sign the UN Charter, aimed at promoting international peace and security. Question 4. How did the Black Death impact social and economic structures in medieval England? A. It led to a decrease in population that increased labour wages. B. It had little impact on social structures. C. It decreased labour wages due to population increase. D. It improved healthcare systems. Answer: A. It led to a decrease in population that increased labour wages. The Black Death significantly impacted medieval England by drastically reducing the population, which led to labour shortages and consequently higher wages and social mobility for the survivors. Question 5. What were the main consequences of the British agricultural revolution in the 18th century? A. Decline in agricultural production. B. Increased reliance on imported food. C. Improved agricultural productivity and efficiency. D. Increased urban poverty. Answer: C. Improved agricultural productivity and efficiency. The British agricultural revolution brought about significant changes in farming practices, which increased productivity and efficiency, setting the stage for the Industrial Revolution by providing surplus labour. Question 6. Outline the effects of the Corn Laws in the 19th century and the events leading to their repeal. A. They increased grain prices, leading to widespread famine and their eventual repeal. B. They decreased grain prices and increased food accessibility. C. They had no significant effect on the economy. D. They led to increased export of grains. Answer: A. They increased grain prices, leading to widespread famine and their eventual repeal. The Corn Laws, enacted to protect British agriculture by imposing tariffs on imported grain, led to high food prices and hardship, which fueled public outrage and political pressure that eventually led to their repeal in 1846. Question 7. Discuss the role of Britain during the Napoleonic Wars. A. Britain was a minor ally. B. Britain led the coalition that ultimately defeated Napoleon. C. Britain was neutral. D. Britain supported Napoleon. Answer: B. Britain led the coalition that ultimately defeated Napoleon. Britain played a leading role in the coalition forces that opposed Napoleon, significantly contributing to his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Question 8. Who was Oliver Cromwell, and what was his impact on British history? A. A military leader who briefly overthrew the monarchy. B. A king known for his peaceful reign. C. A playwright who dramatized the English Civil War. D. A scientist who contributed to the Enlightenment. Answer. A. A military leader who briefly overthrew the monarchy. Oliver Cromwell was a key figure in the English Civil War, leading the parliamentary forces against the monarchy and later serving as Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England. Question 9. What led to the formation of the Commonwealth of Nations, and what is its purpose? A. The desire for economic benefits shared among former British colonies. B. The need to maintain military alliances among former British territories. C. Decolonization, aiming to foster mutual cooperation, democracy, and development. D. The spread of the English language. Answer. C. Decolonization, aiming to foster mutual cooperation, democracy, and development. The Commonwealth of Nations was formed as Britain decolonized, aiming to maintain voluntary intergovernmental support and cooperation among its members. Question 10. How did the Treaty of Maastricht in 1992 affect Britain's relationship with the European Union? A. It led to Britain's immediate exit from the EU. B. It deepened integration but faced significant opposition in Britain. C. It had no significant effects. D. It decreased Britain's influence in Europe. Answer. B. It deepened integration but faced significant opposition in Britain. The Treaty of Maastricht marked a significant step in European integration, introducing the EU citizenship and advancing economic and political integration, which was met with considerable skepticism in Britain. Question 11. What are the historical origins of the conflict between the Houses of Parliament and the monarchy? A. Disagreements over foreign policy. B. Power struggles during the English Civil War. C. Economic disputes in the 20th century. D. Religious differences in the 1600s. Answer. B. Power struggles during the English Civil War. The conflict between Parliament and the monarchy historically originates from power struggles that culminated in the English Civil War, fundamentally about how the country should be governed and who should have the ultimate authority. Question 12. Describe the changes brought about by the Industrial Revolution in British society. A. A shift from agrarian societies to industrial urban centres. B. A decrease in workforce due to automation. C. Little change in economic structures. D. A move towards agricultural economies. Answer. A. A shift from agrarian societies to industrial urban centres. The Industrial Revolution led to significant societal changes in Britain, primarily the shift from rural agrarian economies to urban industrial ones, which transformed social, economic, and cultural life. Question 13. What is the significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. It was a significant naval battle. B. It marked Britain's surrender to Germany. C. It was a crucial victory that prevented a German invasion. D. It resulted in a stalemate with no strategic advantage. Answer. C. It was a crucial victory that prevented a German invasion. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was a pivotal moment in World War II, where the Royal Air Force defended the UK against large-scale attacks by the German Air Force, ultimately preventing a planned invasion. Question 14. How did the Great Reform Act of 1832 change the political landscape of England? A. It abolished the monarchy and established a republic. B. It redistributed parliamentary seats and extended the vote to more of the middle class. C. It eliminated the House of Commons. D. It had no significant impact. Answer: B. It redistributed parliamentary seats and extended the vote to more of the middle class. The Great Reform Act of 1832 was a crucial step in the development of a more democratic electoral system in Britain, addressing disparities in representation and extending the electorate to include a broader segment of the middle class. Question 15. Who were the suffragettes and what did they achieve? A. A group of women who advocated for the abolition of slavery. B. Women activists who successfully fought for the right to vote. C. A political party that sought to reduce taxes. D. Artists who pushed for greater recognition of women in the arts. Answer: B. Women activists who successfully fought for the right to vote. The suffragettes were a movement of women activists in the early 20th century who used both peaceful and militant tactics to successfully campaign for women's suffrage in the UK. Question 16. Explain the impact of the Beveridge Report on social welfare in the UK. A. It led to the reduction of social welfare programs. B. It proposed reforms that laid the foundations for the modern welfare state. C. It criticized the concept of public health care. D. It focused on privatizing social services. Answer: B. It proposed reforms that laid the foundations for the modern welfare state. The Beveridge Report, published during World War II, outlined a comprehensive system of social insurance covering areas from health care to unemployment, which led to the establishment of the welfare state post-war. Question 17. What was the purpose of the Magna Carta signed in 1215? A. To declare war on France. B. To increase the powers of the monarchy. C. To limit the powers of the king and protect the rights of the nobility. D. To establish the Church of England. Answer: C. To limit the powers of the king and protect the rights of the nobility. The Magna Carta was a significant legal document that limited the powers of the English king and is considered a fundamental step in the development of constitutional law in England. Question 18. How has the role of the monarchy evolved in the UK since the 20th century? A. It has gained more legislative power. B. It has transitioned to a purely ceremonial role with no governing powers. C. It has been abolished. D. The monarchy now controls the government. Answer: B. It has transitioned to a purely ceremonial role with no governing powers. Since the 20th century, the role of the British monarchy has evolved into a largely symbolic and ceremonial one, with no direct power in governance. Question 19. Describe the UK's transition from an empire to a member of the Commonwealth. A. The UK forcefully retained control over its colonies. B. It was a smooth transition with no conflicts. C. The transition involved decolonization and transforming former colonies into sovereign members. D. The Commonwealth was disbanded after the transition. Answer: C. The transition involved decolonization and transforming former colonies into sovereign members. The UK's transition from an empire involved a gradual process of decolonization, where former colonies gained independence and the Commonwealth was established as an association of equal members to foster cooperation and shared values. Question 20. What is the significance of the special relationship between the UK and the USA? A. It refers to a historical conflict between the two nations. B. It denotes a close diplomatic and military alliance. C. It is based solely on trade agreements. D. It signifies a legal partnership in international law. Answer B. It denotes a close diplomatic and military alliance. The special relationship between the UK and the USA refers to their particularly close diplomatic, military, and historical associations, often acting as close allies in international affairs. Question 21. How did the English Civil War influence the power structure of the UK? A. It solidified the power of the monarchy. B. It led to the establishment of a purely parliamentary system of governance. C. It resulted in the temporary overthrow of the monarchy and increased parliamentary power. D. It had no significant impact on the power structure. Answer C. It resulted in the temporary overthrow of the monarchy and increased parliamentary power. The English Civil War significantly altered the power dynamics in the UK by temporarily overthrowing the monarchy and leading to a period where parliamentary power was enhanced. Question 22. What was the impact of the Enclosure Acts on rural populations in Britain? A. They increased the land available to peasant farmers. B. They consolidated land into the hands of fewer larger landowners, displacing many rural dwellers. C. They had minimal impact on land ownership. D. They decreased agricultural productivity. Answer B. They consolidated land into the hands of fewer larger landowners, displacing many rural dwellers. The Enclosure Acts had a profound impact on rural populations by consolidating land into the hands of larger landowners, which often resulted in the displacement of small farmers and contributed to urban migration. Question 23. Discuss the establishment and evolution of the British National Health Service. A. It was established in the 1950s and has decreased in scope since. B. It began in the 1940s, providing comprehensive health services funded by taxation. C. It was a private institution until the late 20th century. D. It originated in the 1960s as a small network of hospitals. Answer B. It began in the 1940s, providing comprehensive health services funded by taxation. The British National Health Service, NHS, was established in 1948 to provide a wide range of health services funded by taxation, making healthcare accessible to all citizens. Question 24. Who was Winston Churchill and what was his role during World War II? A. A British general in the army. B. The Prime Minister of the UK, who led the country through much of World War II. C. A pacifist leader advocating for peace. D. An American diplomat in Britain. Answer B. The Prime Minister of the UK, who led the country through much of World War II. Winston Churchill is famed for his leadership during World War II, where his speeches and policies significantly bolstered British morale during hard times. Question 25. Detail the origins and impacts of the English Bill of Rights in 1689. A. It established the Church of England. B. It expanded the rights of the monarchy. C. It laid the groundwork for a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary sovereignty. D. It abolished the Parliament. Answer C. It laid the groundwork for a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary sovereignty. The English Bill of Rights in 1689 was instrumental in limiting the powers of the monarchy and laying the foundation for the system of constitutional monarchy and parliamentary sovereignty in the UK. Question 26. Explain the significance of the Victorian era to Britain's industrial and cultural development. A. Marked by economic decline and cultural stagnation. B. A period of significant industrial growth and cultural flourishing. C. Characterized primarily by military expeditions. D. Noted for its lack of technological advancements. Answer B. A period of significant industrial growth and cultural flourishing. The Victorian era was a pivotal period in British history, characterized by rapid industrial growth and significant cultural developments, which had a lasting impact on British society and the wider world. Question 27. What were the primary reasons behind the UK's vote to leave the European Union in 2016? A. Economic prosperity within the EU. B. Contentment with political union. C. Concerns over sovereignty and immigration. D. A desire to adopt the euro. Answer C. Concerns over sovereignty and immigration. The primary reasons cited for the UK's decision to leave the European Union in 2016 were issues related to national sovereignty and control over immigration and borders. Question 28. Describe the impact of the Elizabethan religious settlement. A. It led to the permanent division of Christianity in England. B. It confirmed the dominance of Catholicism in England. C. It established a moderate form of Protestantism as the national faith. D. It outlawed all forms of religion except for Islam. Answer C. It established a moderate form of Protestantism as the national faith. The Elizabethan religious settlement, initiated by Queen Elizabeth I, aimed to establish a moderate form of Protestantism that could be acceptable to most of her subjects and help unify the country religiously. Question 29. What legal reforms were introduced in the UK following the Second World War? A. The abolition of all pre-war laws. B. Reforms that expanded civil rights and social welfare legislation. C. A move towards stricter criminal penalties. D. Decreased regulations on economic activities. Answer B. Reforms that expanded civil rights and social welfare legislation. Following World War II, the UK introduced significant legal reforms that expanded civil rights and laid the foundations for the modern welfare state, including social welfare legislation that continues to impact British society. Question 30. How did the UK contribute to the end of apartheid in South Africa? A. By providing military support to apartheid regimes. B. Through significant diplomatic pressure and economic sanctions. C. By ignoring the situation. D. By supporting apartheid with trade and political alliances. Answer B. Through significant diplomatic pressure and economic sanctions. The UK played a role in ending apartheid in South Africa through diplomatic efforts and imposing economic sanctions, which were part of a broader international movement to pressure South Africa to reform its racial policies. Question 31. What are the key features of the UK's constitution, given its uncodified nature? A. It is primarily based on written documents. B. It is composed entirely of statute law. C. It includes statutes, common law, and conventions. D. It is identical to the American Constitution. Answer C. It includes statutes, common law, and conventions. The UK Constitution is unique in that it is uncodified and not contained in a single document. Instead, it is based on statutes, common law, and conventions that have evolved over time. Question 32. Discuss the implications of the Acts of Union 1707 for Scotland and England. A. It dissolved the Scottish Parliament and integrated Scotland into England. B. It created a unified Parliament but maintained distinct legal systems. C. It led to immediate political stability. D. It separated Scotland and England into distinct countries. Answer B. It created a unified Parliament but maintained distinct legal systems. The Acts of Union 1707 were significant in that they unified Scotland and England under a single Parliament of Great Britain, but maintained distinct legal systems, which has continued to the present day. Question 33. How did the Great Fire of London in 1666 influence urban development policies? A. It had no impact on urban development. B. It led to the implementation of stricter building regulations and the development of the modern fire brigade. C. It encouraged the construction of wooden buildings. D. It decreased the population of London permanently. Answer. B. It led to the implementation of stricter building regulations and the development of the modern fire brigade. The Great Fire of London in 1666 had a profound impact on urban development policies, leading to stricter building codes and more organized urban planning to prevent future disasters. Question 34. What were the main causes and outcomes of the Falklands War in 1982? A. It was fought over territorial disputes in Europe. B. It resulted in a loss of territory for the UK. C. It was prompted by Argentina's invasion of the Falklands, leading to a British military response that reasserted control. D. It led to the UK relinquishing all overseas territories. Answer. C. It was prompted by Argentina's invasion of the Falklands, leading to a British military response that reasserted control. The Falklands War was primarily caused by Argentina's invasion of the Falkland Islands, a British overseas territory, which led to a swift military response from the UK that reasserted its control over the islands. Question 35. How has British foreign policy shaped the modern Middle East? A. It has had minimal impact. B. It played a major role during the colonial period and through strategic alliances and conflicts post-World War II. C. It focused solely on economic exploitation. D. It has consistently supported democratic governments in the region. Answer. B. It played a major role during the colonial period and through strategic alliances and conflicts post-World War II. British foreign policy has significantly shaped the modern Middle East, from its role in drawing borders during the colonial era to its involvement in various strategic alliances and conflicts in the region. Question 36. What were the driving forces behind the establishment of the British welfare state post-World War II? A. A desire to return to pre-war economic policies. B. The economic prosperity of the war years. C. Recognition of the need for comprehensive social support systems, influenced by the Beveridge Report. D. Pressure from other European nations. Answer. C. Recognition of the need for comprehensive social support systems, influenced by the Beveridge Report. The establishment of the British welfare state post-World War II was driven by a recognition of the need to provide comprehensive social safety nets, heavily influenced by the findings and recommendations of the Beveridge Report. Question 37. Describe the impact of immigration on the UK in the post-war period. A. It led to a rapid decline in population. B. It enriched British culture and economy, although it also prompted political and social debates. C. It was universally opposed. D. It had no noticeable effects. Answer. B. It enriched British culture and economy, although it also prompted political and social debates. Immigration has had a profound impact on the UK in the post-war period, significantly enriching the cultural and economic landscape of the country, while also giving rise to various political and social debates regarding integration and community relations. Question 38. What role did Britain play in the formation and success of the European Economic Community, EC? A. Britain was a founding member. B. Britain joined the EEC late and had a complicated relationship with it. C. Britain played a leading role in its dissolution. D. Britain had no involvement in the EEC. Answer: B. Britain joined the EEC late and had a complicated relationship with it. Britain was not a founding member of the European Economic Community, but joined in 1973. Its relationship with the EEC, and later the European Union, was marked by benefits and challenges, reflecting its complicated stance towards European integration. Question 39. How did the scientific revolution in Britain contribute to global knowledge? A. It isolated Britain from global scientific advancements. B. British scientists played key roles in developments that had little impact outside of Britain. C. It had a pivotal role, with British scientists like Newton and Darwin making fundamental contributions to science. D. It focused solely on industrial technology. Answer: C. It had a pivotal role, with British scientists like Newton and Darwin making fundamental contributions to science. The scientific revolution saw significant contributions from British scientists, including Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin, whose work has had a profound and lasting impact on global scientific understanding and methodology. Question 40. Discuss the significance of the Chartist movement in the 19th century. A. It was a movement that advocated for the restoration of the monarchy. B. It focused exclusively on economic reforms without political demands. C. It was a working-class movement that sought political reforms and expanded suffrage. D. It had no lasting impact on British society. Answer: C. It was a working-class movement that sought political reforms and expanded suffrage. The Chartist movement was significant in the 19th century as a major working-class movement that advocated for fundamental political reforms, including the expansion of suffrage, aiming to achieve greater democratic representation. Question 41. What were the key factors that led to the abolition of the slave trade in the British Empire? A. Economic reasons and decreased profitability. B. Humanitarian reasons and active abolitionist campaigns. C. Lack of labour needs in the British colonies. D. International pressure from other empires. Answer: B. Humanitarian reasons and active abolitionist campaigns. The abolition of the slave trade in the British Empire was largely driven by humanitarian concerns and the efforts of abolitionists who campaigned vigorously against slavery, leading to the Slave Trade Act of 1807. Question 42. Explain the role of Britain in the global spread of sports such as football, cricket and rugby. A. Britain had no significant role in spreading these sports. B. Sports spread due to British colonialism and the influence of the British Commonwealth. C. These sports were introduced to Britain by American influences. D. Britain imported these sports from Asia. Answer: B. Sports spread due to British colonialism and the influence of the British Commonwealth. Britain played a crucial role in the global spread of sports like football, cricket, and rugby through its colonial and Commonwealth ties, establishing these sports as popular pastimes in various parts of the world. Question 43. What was the impact of the Thatcher government's economic policies on British industry and society? A. Led to significant industrial growth and decreased unemployment. B. Created widespread economic decline and increased unemployment. C. Policies included deregulation, privatization, and a focus on the service sector, leading to profound economic transformations. D. No significant changes were noted during or after her tenure. Answer C. Policies included deregulation, privatization, and a focus on the service sector, leading to profound economic transformations. Margaret Thatcher's government implemented economic policies that significantly altered the British economy, including extensive deregulation, privatization of state-owned enterprises, and a shift towards a service-based economy. Question 44. Detail the significance of the Battle of Waterloo for British military history. A. It marked a British defeat against French forces. B. It was a significant victory that ended Napoleon's rule and marked the stabilization of Europe. C. It had little historical significance. D. It led to the expansion of the British Empire in Africa. Answer B. It was a significant victory that ended Napoleon's rule and marked the stabilization of Europe. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 is one of the most significant in British military history, as it not only marked a decisive victory against Napoleon Bonaparte, but also significantly contributed to the stabilization of Europe thereafter. Question 45. How did British policies contribute to the American Revolution? A. British policies of taxation and political control were welcomed by the American colonists. B. British policies of taxation without representation and political control fueled discontent and revolutionary sentiments. C. British support for Native American rights angered colonists. D. There were no British policies that contributed to the American Revolution. Answer B. British policies of taxation without representation and political control fueled discontent and revolutionary sentiments. British policies, particularly those involving taxation without representation and restrictive political controls, were key factors that fueled discontent among American colonists, leading to the American Revolution. Question 46. What was the significance of the Anglo-Saxon laws to the development of the British legal system? A. They introduced the use of juries and common law principles. B. They were largely insignificant. C. They focused only on military obligations. D. They established the divine right of kings. Answer A. They introduced the use of juries and common law principles. The Anglo-Saxon laws were significant in the development of the British legal system, as they introduced foundational legal principles, such as the use of juries and elements of what would later be known as common law. Question 47. How did the discovery of penicillin by a British scientist affect global health? A. It had a minimal impact on global health advancements. B. It led to significant advancements in the treatment of bacterial infections worldwide. C. It was overshadowed by other medical discoveries. D. It was not recognized until centuries later. Answer B. It led to significant advancements in the treatment of bacterial infections worldwide. The discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming, a British scientist, in 1928 marked a revolution in medical treatment, leading to profound impacts on global health by effectively treating bacterial infections and saving countless lives. Question 48. Describe the effects of the UK's austerity measures following the 2008 financial crisis. A. They led to immediate economic recovery. B. They had no significant impact on the UK economy. C. They resulted in widespread public sector cuts, affecting services like health and education. D. They increased public spending significantly. Answer C. They resulted in widespread public sector cuts, affecting services like health and education. The austerity measures implemented in the UK following the 2008 financial crisis led to significant cuts in public spending, particularly affecting public sector services and welfare, which stirred considerable debate and discontent. Question 49. What was Britain's role in the Treaty of Versailles? A. Britain was primarily focused on punishing Germany with harsh penalties. B. Britain played a mediating role, advocating for moderate peace terms. C. Britain had no role in the Treaty of Versailles. D. Britain was against the treaty. Answer: B. Britain played a mediating role, advocating for moderate peace terms. During the negotiations of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, Britain, under the leadership of Prime Minister David Lloyd George, played a somewhat mediating role, advocating for peace terms that were designed to be punitive yet not overly harsh to prevent future conflict. Question 50. How have British literary figures influenced global literature and language? A. British literary figures have had minimal influence on global literature. B. They have played a pivotal role, with writers like Shakespeare and Dickens shaping literary forms and the English language. C. British literature is primarily known only within the UK. D. The influence is limited to former British colonies. Answer: B. They have played a pivotal role, with writers like Shakespeare and Dickens shaping literary forms and the English language. British literary figures have profoundly influenced global literature and the development of the English language, with writers such as William Shakespeare and Charles Dickens having an enduring impact on literary styles, themes, and the English language itself. Question 51. Discuss the evolution of democracy in Britain from the Magna Carta to the present day. A. Democracy has regressed since the Magna Carta. B. There has been a gradual but steady progression towards a more inclusive and representative political system. C. The Magna Carta established a full democratic system that has remained unchanged. D. Democracy was quickly established after the Magna Carta but later abolished. Answer: B. There has been a gradual but steady progression towards a more inclusive and representative political system. The evolution of democracy in Britain has been characterized by gradual reforms, starting from the Magna Carta in 1215, which laid foundational principles for the rule of law and governance, leading to increasingly representative and democratic systems over the centuries. Question 52. What were the impacts of the Gunpowder Plot on British government and society? A. It led to greater tolerance towards Catholics. B. It resulted in stricter laws against Catholics and increased governmental controls. C. It had no lasting impacts. D. It resulted in the overthrow of the government. Answer: B. It resulted in stricter laws against Catholics and increased governmental controls. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605, an attempt by Catholic conspirators to blow up the House of Lords, led to harsher laws against Catholics and increased state control over religious practices, reflecting the deep religious tensions of the time. Question 53. How has the concept of British identity evolved in the context of modern multiculturalism? A. It has become less inclusive. B. British identity has remained static and unchanged. C. It has broadened to incorporate diverse cultures and ethnicities, reflecting a more inclusive national identity. D. Multiculturalism has been completely rejected. Answer: C. It has broadened to incorporate diverse cultures and ethnicities, reflecting a more inclusive national identity. The concept of British identity has evolved significantly in the context of modern multiculturalism, moving towards a more inclusive understanding that acknowledges and celebrates the diversity of cultures and ethnicities that make up modern Britain. Question 54. What role did the British play in the development of modern computing and the Internet? A. The British contribution was minimal. B. British pioneers like Alan Turing and Tim Berners-Lee played critical roles in the development of computer science and the World Wide Web. C. The British focused only on mechanical computing devices. D. Britain was involved solely in military computing applications. Answer B. British pioneers like Alan Turing and Tim Berners-Lee played critical roles in the development of computer science and the World Wide Web. Britain's contribution to modern computing and the Internet is significant, with figures like Alan Turing, who laid the foundations of computer science, and Tim Berners-Lee, who invented the World Wide Web, playing pivotal roles. Question 55. Explain the changes in UK immigration law in response to the Syrian refugee crisis. A. The UK closed its borders completely to Syrian refugees. B. The UK did not respond to the Syrian refugee crisis. C. The UK implemented specific measures to offer refuge to a limited number of Syrian refugees amid widespread calls for humanitarian assistance. D. The UK offered unlimited asylum to all Syrian refugees. Answer C. The UK implemented specific measures to offer refuge to a limited number of Syrian refugees amid widespread calls for humanitarian assistance. In response to the Syrian refugee crisis, the UK government took steps to provide asylum to a limited number of refugees, reflecting its commitment to international humanitarian efforts while also managing domestic policy considerations.